Like advanced
Well,
clinic?
I guess, yeah, if they wanted me to, for sure. That's kind of why I thought it might be a good idea, just to get a hold of them and let them know that I'm still thinking about them and be happy to help them more if I can. So,
Right. You could have something like a couple different options, like a price for a couple one-on-one sessions, or schedule an advanced clinic and just see what interest there is, and give them
uh-huh.
options and see if either of those would be something they'd be interested in.
Okay.
Just, I mean, I don't know how much you want to do it, how big you want to grow that, but it's just some ideas if that's something you want to
Yeah.
work on. So cool. So what else, which other, like you have so many little irons in the fire, which other business are you focusing on?
Um, well, I've been doing mostly a lot of day work lately, but the tire business is kind of on hold. They sold their machine, and so now they're getting another machine built, and I don't have any tires to sell at the moment. We're sold out for now, so everything's kind
Gotcha.
of on hold, which is tough because this is kind of our busiest time of year. So
Right.
uh, anyway, hopefully we get back up or they get back up and going soon.
Oh, shoot. Now, who is they? Who did the tires?
My brother-in-law, he actually owns the business, and then I just sell
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
and
Right.
invoice and what.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, anything else along those lines that I can help you with?
Um, not that I can think of right now.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. Okay. So let's get started. Janae, can you hear me? How are things going for you? Were you able to connect with, here, I'll unmute you. Were you able to connect? I know your goal last week was to get lots of bookings. I saw your thing on Facebook too. How did that go?
It was awesome. I sent out a newsletter, and I'm doing double hostess rewards, and I booked 9 parties.
Oh, yay!
I'm so excited, and I'm contacting. I'm following up with a lady today, and then I have some others that I'm going to be calling because I need my calendar full for June. So
how full is full? 9's not full. How many more do you need?
Well, like if I were to look at my calendar, I could do 1, 2. I have 2 more evening parties that I could do. Actually, possibly 3. And then I would even, if I can, I'd like to do some daytime parties.
Cool.
So, I mean, I would, 15 to 20 parties would get it to where
you don't have to worry.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy 400.
Reaching that 400 would be easy.
Right.
So,
hey, you cut off your hair. It looks super cute.
Oh, thanks. I had to. The lady that cut my hair, she butched one of the layers. And so, yeah. So I had to cut it.
Oh, was that sad?
No, I was ready.
Oh, okay. It looks cute.
Thanks.
It's really cute. Okay, so you're on your way there. Are you using the phone calling system for some of that? Is that helping at all?
That is what I plan to do today.
Okay.
All of the parties that I got booked were strictly off of email, phone. Well, everyone contacted me after that newsletter.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
And I will be going to Eastern Idaho next weekend, so I made sure, and I got 3 parties booked for the day and a half that I'll be there.
Cool.
And then I'm going again in 2 weeks. So I'm contacting people today to see if I can get that weekend booked.
Awesome.
Because my parties up in Eastern Idaho do awesome.
Cool. Do you have a recruit up there?
I have a gal in Idaho Falls, yeah.
Okay, cool. So. Well, use the first 3 steps, and then ask a couple of questions about the skirts, what they love about them, Okay, because of that, this is what we have, and double bonus. Don't just go for the double bonus. Like, go through the script and see how different it feels.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, I know the double bonus is like, with a previous hostess, it's not too hard to twist an arm. I mean, still, you know what I mean? But that's like a good time to practice the system, because you don't have to worry about screwing it up, because you already feel pretty good that they're going to say yes.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense? So that person where is more of a 50-50 or 30% possibility, that one you're going to help push over the top. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So print it off and do that. So I'm super excited for you. That's way cool.
Yeah.
So cool. All right. And your sales came in where you needed them to for May?
Yes.
Awesome.
This is my last month. Yay.
Your last month. Okay.
Take a breather after. Well, I think I need to really book up July just to help pay off, because it costs so much to get up to that 400.
Right.
So
yeah,
just to even it out.
Okay. So one more thought for you, Janae, and I'll talk to you about this in a couple of weeks when you're less on selling mode, is possibly getting your recruits together for a free call, maybe like the first week of July after sales isn't your focus, and we'll get your numbers nice and strong to get your bonus money.
Okay.
Okay. If that's something you want to do.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. So let's move on. Okay. So we're going to talk about really specific goals today and how to write them down. So we're going to do that for just a few minutes, and then we're going to talk about referrals. And this will be a really good one for you, Janae, where a lot of your business is repeat business. It's time to get some referrals, and especially I think that will help with the recruiting. So writing goals down in full sentences is one of my favorite ways to set goals. But I find that it's not quite the time to do it at the very, very beginning when I start coaching people, because for some reason, people just aren't quite ready or able to be really clear and specific about what they want in their life at that point. But hopefully you're getting to the point where you've seen some goals happen, you've seen things on your bucket list start to transpire, and you see that you don't have to fight so hard to make your goals happen. When you write them down and just put in consistent action, things happen more than you think they will, and those kind of things. But this is a time where you focus on goals that are in your next 4 to 6 months, and you write them down. And there's a couple little tricks to this that help make it even more effective. So what we're going to do is pick things that you want in the next 4 to 6 months. Janae has Janae's working on a thing where she had to have 4 months of consistency selling so many skirts to earn a trip. So she has a big one like that, but that will end in 30 days. So that's one of her, Shanna. So what's something that you would like to work on in the next 4 to 6 months to build or expand on?
Well, in 4 to 6 months, I would like to get qualified for the Ranch Rodeo Finals in Winnemucca. That's the first weekend of November.
Okay.
And so I've got roping practice on my tracker, and so I'm trying to stick with that and do that at least 3 times a week.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And then something else I would like to do is maybe my little boy's going to start school, so I won't have any kids at home this fall, and so I'd like to look at taking some online courses in nutrition and start working towards that goal.
Oh, awesome. Fantastic. Okay. So we'll use your goals as our examples today, okay, Shanna?
Okay.
So if you have a pen and you're taking notes, here's kind of some fun things. One of the things with writing down goals is you want to be really specific with them. And one of the things we're going to apply is what's called the 3 Ps, like P as in Paul. And it stands for 3 different things. It's in the present, the positive, and personal, okay? The first one's pretty easy, personal, and all that means is you start the sentence with the word I. Or let's say it was something you and your husband or your family, you could do we, but I blank, blank, blank. Okay, so we're going to put these in full sentences because a lot of times people will just put up a number, you know, want to save this much money, make this much money, you know, whatnot, or a date or a title, you know, like your title that for your roping in November. But we want to put these in full sentences, okay? So start with the word I, and then one of the things that is kind of fun, luckily your things are very proactive. Every now and then I have someone who wants to break a bad habit, and we have to replace it with what we want to have happen, a good habit. And so what will happen is people will say, you know, I'll never smoke, or I'll never eat sugar, or I'll never, you know, I won't do this, or I, you know, don't do this anymore. But we got to put it in the positive. And this is something that's really good for you to learn as you start working with people more in nutrition is, a lot of times people are focusing on what they won't do anymore. And that's where you want to help people change it to, you know, I'm excited getting up in the morning, exercising, I'm excited eating my, you know, number of calories, or 5 fruits and vegetables a day, or, you know, something in the positive versus, you know, I'll never eat anything white, you know, white flour, white sugar. Do you see what I'm saying? Because one, people feel more restricted, and the other thing is our subconscious doesn't hear the words no, not, never, don't. And so if you think about this, whenever you tell a child, don't do this, what's almost their instant reaction?
Well, to do it.
To do it, I know, okay.
On their mind.
Yeah. And so the other thing I can tell you is if I say, don't think about a pink elephant, pretty hard, right? Okay.
Yep.
So in nutrition especially, maybe that's because that's my thing, but probably in other places, when you tell somebody don't do something, it makes them feel deprived and kind of resentful, and it's not the best feeling, right? So we always want to make sure we're talking about what we're moving towards and the new habit. Luckily, your two things, they're not breaking bad habits. Those are proactive. It'll be easy to say the positive. But now and then you'll feel yourself, I don't do this. And it takes a little practice to rephrase it, because people are like, well, how am I going to say that different? It is stop doing, you know, or I'm not going to stay up late anymore. No, I'm going to go to bed on time, get up early, and this is how it's going to feel and why. Okay, so it does take a little bit of practice sometimes, depending on what kind of habits you're talking about. So the next one is, so that's your present, or that's your positive. So the next one is in the present. And this one's actually my absolute favorite one. In the present means you write it down as if it's already happened. I have, or I am qualified, or is it qualified or just attending or winning? What did you say about your roping in November?
Just qualified for the finals.
Okay.
So I guess I could put, I am competing in Winnemucca at the Ranch Rodeo Finals or something, maybe.
Perfect. Yep, exactly. You totally get it. Okay. And you were so good. So many people throw the word will in there and make it future tense. And you got it. Some people have a hard time. It just slips out. They don't think about it. So Janae is a cruise qualifying, maxi skirt seller. She is, taking her boys on this cruise. She does get this week with her husband. Those things are in the present, even though, they're next spring. Okay. And it's funny. Every now and then I have someone who's like, but that's a lie. And the way I explain it to him is I kind of envision a triangle, and at the top of the triangle is God looking down on us. And the bottom line of the triangle is our timeline, but we're sitting on that and we can't see very far. And God can see that you are, in the qualifying years, and God can see that Janae's on her cruise, just we can't get that far. So it's not a lie. It's, we are that person. We have accomplished those things. We just have to finish the work towards them. So it's kind of fun. Okay. So we put those, and then one of the things that I like to throw in there, if it's something that can be quantified. Okay, so let's say you want to take one class in nutrition, but if you took 2 classes, you'd be even happier. Okay, so you could say, I take at least 1 class in nutrition this fall. I don't know if 1 is your number. I'm just making stuff up. Okay, but I do at least this. Or Janae could say, I sell at least 400 skirts this month, or have at least this many parties. Because you never want to limit how much God can bless you. If he wants to give you more than that, most of us don't turn it away, right? More is always better. Okay. So, and then the last thing, now and then, I kind of go back and forth on this. Some people say we need to have dates on things. And because we're saying it in the present and our subconscious is going to work on it as fast as it can, I go back and forth on that. I think it probably just depends on how it feels to you. Because, like, for example, the new year hit and there were a couple things I wanted to accomplish. And all of a sudden I realized I hadn't accomplished them. And I had to stop and think. And I'm like, God doesn't look at calendars like we look at calendars. Why do I care if it happened by January 1st? As long as I'm still working towards it, I'm pretty happy with that. But at the same time, you don't want it to go on forever and never be achieved. So you got to kind of depend on, you've got to kind of sense how you feel. Does putting a date on it give you that little extra sense of urgency to make you do it and put a little more fervor into it? Or is that just something that you don't really need? As long as it's written down, you're going to be working on it. So you've got to kind of take a mental inventory there, because sometimes I feel like when we put a date on it, it puts it in the future instead of saying it in the present tense. So say them out loud. That's kind of a really good test to see if the sentences are written in a way that they're motivating. Say it out loud. Take a minute, kind of close your eyes. How did that make me feel? Is there something that feels off? Does it bring up any fear? Does it bring up excitement and motivation? What does it do to your heart? Okay. And depending on that, you want it to evoke some motivation and excitement. Okay. That would definitely be the goal of how you want this sentence to feel. Okay. So I would suggest picking 3 to 5 of your mid short-term goals, something in the 4 to 6 months. It can even be up to 12 months. Write these out in full sentences. Okay. Send them to me. I'll look at them. I can even suggest little tweaks. Oh, one other suggestion I forgot to add in here is feeling words. Okay. So Janae, tell me how it's going to feel to be on that cruise with your husband and 2 older sons.
It's going to feel relaxing, warm, and just fun, a break.
Yeah.
A sense of freedom.
Cool. And you have 7 kids. That probably doesn't happen real often, right?
No.
So one of the things that I found is we have to stay focused on how it's going to feel, because it's real easy to get caught up in how much work it is and go, this isn't worth it, if we're not really focused on how it's going to feel and why we want it. So Shannon, how's it going to feel going to the qualifiers in November?
It'll probably give me a strong sense of pride, just knowing that I made it.
Mm-hmm.
And fun. It'll give me more confidence for sure in my roping, and it may help me get some more roping clinics.
Yeah, because you kind of have some, what would you say? It gives you credentials. It gives you what's the word I'm looking for? Credibility. I'm like, the word's popping in my head. That's cool. Well, excellent. How will it feel to finally be taking nutrition classes and work on this goal that you've been thinking about for a while now?
Just kind of exciting. It's just something that I've wanted to pursue, and so I think exciting and, I don't know, I'm at a loss.
That's okay. But think about that and put that in your sentence, okay?
Okay.
All right, let's move on to referrals. Okay, this is one of my favorite things to do, okay? Referrals is, we can advertise and advertise until we're blue in the face. But when we have a situation where there's a referral, it's, if someone cold calls you and there's no connection, it's really easy to get off the phone. If they say your friend Susie called and said you're interested in this, all of a sudden, like, the walls go down and we're much more apt to listen and chat with them, right? Okay. So a referral it's something totally different. And advertising, people have to see things 6 to 7 times to usually take action. And so versus a referral, we call, there's a commonality. There's somebody that we know that they know. It's really fun. Okay, so most people's question is just simply, who do you know that I could also service? Okay, whether it's insurance, cars, it doesn't matter what it is. Who else do you know that, needs what I have? And people just think about how that feels when I say that to you. If I said, who, it just kind of stops us in our tracks, okay? And we may even really like the service the person gave us, the guy or woman, but at the same time, we kind of freeze, and it's just, people just don't know who to start telling you about. So what we want to do is give them, one, a reason to give us some names, and 2, we give them several prompts, help them think about who could be a potential someone that we'd want to talk to, okay? So we're going to give them several different areas. Okay, so one of the things is we always want to do is just help them know that, because if you like this and you think other people like this service, I love to help other people, and I'm guessing you do too, okay? We want to give them a reason to on that. Now, one of the things that you do, and this is really fun, you can do this one-on-one with somebody, or you can also do it in a group, and you can even offer kind of some perks on it. So sometimes, like Janae, we'll talk about giveaways here at the end. So this is what we want to do, okay? It's pretty easy with Janae's thing because she works in groups all the time. So she could, at the very end of her class, hand out a little piece of paper and say, we're going to play a little game of who do you know? And tell them, okay, I'm going to give you several different areas of people in your life that you might know. And I love these skirts, and I know you love the skirts, and so I like to get the word out to other people. And not everybody can come to a party, or they live in different areas, or maybe even somebody needs a business opportunity. So let me kind of tell you about people I know. Who do you know who has more than one daughter? Who do you know that you see wearing skirts, not just on maybe a Sunday religious day, but also likes to wear them during the week? Who do you know that, that has a professional business where, that has a career and they like to wear skirts to work? Who do you know that you see wearing long skirts versus tailored business skirts? Who do you know who doesn't always care for shopping in a regular store and would love some one-on-one help with, dressing up? Who do you know that that you see, wears leggings, and their kids wear leggings and like something kind of cute and different that not everybody's wearing at Target, something like that, okay? So you ask them questions in these different areas. So one's on nutrition for you, Shannon, would be, who do you know that's on a medication that they'd like to get off of? Who do you know that would like to lose, 20 pounds or more? Who do you know that maybe even has like a terminal illness or cancer and could use some help on seeing if nutrition could help them reverse that? Who do you know that would like to eat healthier, but they feel like it takes a lot of time and money and needs some better ideas or recipes? You see what I'm saying? Okay. We want to find groups of people that our service or product benefits and ask them who do they know in these different areas. Now, did all these names start sparking in your brain as you heard the different questions?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, whether it was skirts or nutrition. Okay, it's like all of a sudden we start finding names. Versus if I just said, hey, who do you know that I could sell skirts to? Okay, it just doesn't come off the same way, right? Okay, so what we want to do is ask them for their name and their phone number. Sometimes they'll give us an email address instead. I prefer phone number. And from there, we ask our guest, would you be willing to give your friend a call and let them know that I'm going to give them a jingle and tell them about these cute, fun skirts that you've fallen in love with? Do you mind giving your friend a call and letting them know that I'm offering some fun health classes and I'd love to just get to know them and personally invite them to the class? Okay, you see how that works? So you could also throw some recruiting questions in there. Janae, with who do you know who is either wants to supplement their income from their career or is a stay-at-home mom and wants to find a way to earn some money? Okay, so you got a lot of different things here that you can ask. So what I do is if people put down, 3 to 5 names, or I'll even have a piece of paper and I'll, have 1 through 5. I want to give an expectation. Okay, so it says their name and their phone number. And that way people, they're likely to fill in stuff that's there. They want to fill it in. If I don't put any numbers, they may be happy with 2, but 5, it gives them the idea that I want 5 names. So, so you do that. Now, one of the things you can do is offer a giveaway. For everyone who gives me 3 to 5 names, you're going to put them in a hat, draw one out, and somebody goes home with XYZ. It could even just be a coupon for 50% off a skirt, Janae. So then it really doesn't cost too much. It just kind of balances out. They at least pay the cost, almost the cost. Anything like that, okay? You could offer, Shannon, something like a cupboard makeover, help them go through the stuff in their cupboard, understand what's good and bad in it, and help them even have some alternative options to the food that's in there. Do you know what I mean? There's like all these different things that you could do.
Oh, yeah. So, that's actually a great idea. I've had somebody ask me to do that for them.
Oh, cool.
Already. So, yeah, that's a great idea.
Excellent. So it's just the whole idea is that those people, like the business I've got, my best customers have almost all been referrals. Okay. I do have other ways that I find people, but it's pretty amazing how great my referral system is, or how great the customers are that I get through referrals. It's pretty fun. Okay. One of the things is when you get really good at this, you don't have to do as much advertising. Now, I have to admit, Janae has a little bit different product. I don't see people signing up for Pampered Chef parties and Mary Kay and stuff at the rate that they do the skirt parties. I don't know why that product's so unique or why that happens, but I'm thrilled for your sake that that's how it is. But either way, I think maybe your focus, especially because you need people out of your area, your focus could be on the recruiting side of it. Now, you're not going to get nearly as many names when it comes to recruits as you are just people who want to see skirts. So you could even have maybe 3 names based on people that would love skirts and 2 lines that says people who are needing a income producing activity. Okay, so you could ask for 2 different types of names. Do you see what I'm saying? And And you could even give tickets. If you give me a referral one, you get 2 tickets. If you give me customer ones, you get 1, or whatever like that. Okay. So there's a lot of different ways to do this. You just kind of got to play around with it and see what works. Okay. So what I'd like to challenge you to do this week is ask for referrals in 5 different situations. So you may have parties, you might be on the phone with someone, you might call your hostesses, Janae. If they don't want to have a party, you might even want to ask them, hey, who at your party loved the skirts and might even want to, now get something for free and host a party instead. So there's a lot of different ways to use this, okay? When I call people on my referrals, every now and then I run into somebody. Like I had a gal the other day, and she is like super good at business. She's a photographer, and she consults other photographers to help them make money. And as she was telling me her expertise, I was like, you're as good or better at this than I am. And, I said, I don't think I have anything that you need, but can I tell you what I do anyway and just see if you know anyone else who does? And so we got to chatting, and I told her what I did. And what actually happened is she's like, oh, you have some expertise that aren't my strengths. And so it was fun because it was someone who had a similar, it was just fun to talk to someone who had similar interests and similar strengths. And she was more than, willing to kind of listen to my thing and see what I did. So it's just fun how when you've asked the questions and are very open with people and just tell them straight out, I do or don't have something for you, or, whatnot, people are very willing to help and listen. So in fact, she was like, I have this other thing coming up. I'd love to take your expertise and maybe put it in something that I'm working on. So it was kind of fun. All right. So the other assignment I should have put on here is write down 3 to 5 goals in full sentences and email them to me and let me see how your sentences are coming together. And plus I love to hear what goals you have and what kind of things you'll do for I just love to hear what goals you have, but also, I can look at your sentences and see if there's any tweaking that needs to be done. So I would love to ask you at this point, who you know. One of the ways that my business does grow and makes it so that I have time to do more classes is to get referrals from people. So if you have a pen and you have just a quick second for me, I'd love to ask you, who do you know that is in direct sales? And see if you know a couple people that I might be able to contact. Who do you know that's in direct sales? Who do you know that owns their own business? Who do you know that's been thinking about starting a business of their own? Who do you know that has thought about doing something and is worried about feeling like a salesperson? They're like, I would do this, but sales is just too uncomfortable. And if they had some skills in sales, they'd probably be successful. Okay, so if you just think about those questions for me, if you have a couple people on your list, if I would just be ever so grateful if you sent me a quick email with names and phone numbers, and let people know that I'm going to give them a quick jingle. But I know, for example, Shanna, you were found by Mona for me, and I'm so glad she talked to you that day.
Yeah.
Anytime if you know someone, send me their name. Just let them know I'm going to give them a jingle. And you know me, I just love to share what I have. And if it's not the right time or the right fit for people, I don't take it personal. I can take a no, because that's what, sales are no's. It's no big deal. But I would just be really grateful if you had any referrals, and I'll give them a call. The last thing, there's something else I was going to say, yeah. Oh, I know what it was. So we're getting close to the end of our 14 weeks. So we'll end the end of June. And let me tell you what I have set up. So the first group that I started with, they were they were getting on a roll with what they were doing, but they still weren't 100% implementing things in the way that they wanted to. And it just because it takes practice. And plus they were like, some of them were just getting their business revved up. And so they knew they still needed a little more help. Not that they needed help. Anyway, they just appreciate it. They like what I do. And they like the things that I teach. So what we have is like a subscription program. And it's still, I started charging people what's called Sacred Economics, where people get to pay whatever that they feel it's worth to them. And so these gals, they pay anywhere between, it's like $30 and $50 a month. And they come on calls every week, just like you do now. And so one week I'll have a planned topic where I have an agenda. And then the next week, you get to just come on and ask questions. This is what I'm dealing with, or this, I want to recruit, or I want to, figure out a way to market this product, or I have this particular customer that I have this situation. What could I have said? All sorts of different things. So that's what you have to take advantage of after we're done, after our 100-day challenge. Okay. So you can think about that. I just want you to put that in the back of your head, that I don't just drop you after this. You're welcome to continue working with me, and you'll join in with the other group of ladies that are already on the calls, and you'll love Mona and Marilee. They're awesome. One sells insurance, and the other one has a health product that she sells. But they're amazing ladies. Just love them dearly. So that's something that we do after. Do you have any questions about how that will work? No? Okay. All right. So, whatever you want to do with that, I just want you to know that that option is there for you after we're done with 100 days. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Any questions on what we've talked about today, or anything I can do for you? Okay. All right, lady.
No?
Fantastic. Okay. Well, have an awesome week, and let me know how your referral's going. Janae, let me know if I can do anything to help you with bookings. Good luck with those phone calls. Let me know how it goes, because it does take a little bit of practice, but it'll be good in the long run. Give it a try. And we will be talking to you soon, okay?
Okay, thanks, Michelle.
Thanks so much. Send me an email if you have a couple names.
Okay.
Okay, thanks so much.
Yep, see ya.
Bye-bye.